Did Joe Biden just create a student debt bomb? After pausing payments for 3 years and promising to wipe out their loans, college grads aren't paying them at an alarming rate. A staggering 40% of borrowers skipped out on their first bills due in October after the pandemic pause was lifted. So why are grads refusing to pay back their loans? Young borrowers claim they don't care if their credit gets crushed because they won't be able to afford a home someday anyway.
So what? If I don't pay my student loans, what are you going to do? Ruin my credit so I can't buy the house that I wasn't even going to be able to buy ever in my lifetime anyways?
And thankfully, Joe Biden isn't the one crunching the numbers. The president bragging about relieving debt for over 130 million Americans, even though there are only 40 million with loans.
I went to the Supreme Court to eliminate student debt that was out there. And guess what? The Supreme Court ruled against it, but I still got 136 million people's debt relieved.
Dana, what's he talking about?
Well, I mean, I don't know how they're counting up the numbers. I mean, this is the problem of trying to buy votes. Okay, so he overpromised and he underdelivered. The Supreme Court said, you can't do this. He said, right, okay, got it. And then the left went nuts and he said, oh, wait, never mind, I will do it anyway. And then they sort of did a half measure. But what the young woman was saying that you played that did the TikTok video, I think this is a real issue for young people. And candidates from both sides of the aisle have to figure out some sort of message for them. What is the future? What is the hope? There was a time when paying off your debt was a source of pride and relief. And you're like, I did it. And I understand that they have a lot of debt, but they also have degrees. And there's a problem with the universities charging way too much. I read today about how much it costs for just room and board at these universities because they have apartments that are nicer than anything I lived in for the first 10 years after high school when I was in college. So I think this is also happening with the migrants, right? So you promise a path to citizenship. You promise that you're not going to do deportations. You promise that there's not going to be a problem of you finding work in this country. When you're running for president, you become president, you don't push that back. No wonder the migrants don't stop coming. No wonder they're not going to pay their student loans. But I am concerned about young people feeling like they are not going to be able to make it. And again, it's probably why you see in the polls, young people starting to say, let me take a look at least at the other party. Even if they don't like President Trump directly, they might be able to say, let me look at something else, because clearly these last few years are not working for them.
All right, Harold. So if you look at the TikTok, I mean, these young people are making $50,000 a year. They've got debt of $38,000, and the average house is $400,000. Is this because of Bidenomics?
Well, first of all, I would question the college or the college education one receives if they've graduated from college and one of their first acts is to say they're not going to pay back their college debt and then advertise it on TikTok and self-promote and then hide behind this absurd notion that you don't want to pay your debts off. You don't care if your credit gets crushed because you're not going to be able to afford a home. Anyway, this is a young woman who has no idea what her future holds. I would hope that she would want to work hard and play by the rules and take some chances and risk. And that's what we should be promoting. I've said all along, the student loan forgiveness, the blanket forgiveness was not what I would have done. I understand trying to incentivize people to go into areas where we need more workers, we need more thinkers, we need more doers, be it in the medical field, the teaching field, the law enforcement field. We've talked about truck drivers and others. I get that, but just to give it to anyone, and then to hear this young lady, I hope that, just a piece of advice to anyone who's not going to pay their debt back. I've tried to pay my debts off. Don't go on TikTok and say that you're not going to pay it back because you don't care. In any college that has graduates that are doing that, you should send them notices saying, please don't send money back to university. Come back and let us give you an economics course because you have to pay your debt back. And the president should be saying the same thing as well. People got a big pause, and now we're asking everybody to chip in and do their part.
Well, isn't the president, Jesse, incentivizing these high costs and the high cost of college by, even trying to begin to pay the loans for these young people?
If I were a conspiracy theorist?
Yes.
If.
Yeah.
It's a big if.
I would say they broke the bank, so the rates had to get jacked up, which forces young Americans to move back home with their parents, so then they're not dating. and then they're not getting married, and then they're not having babies, which drives the birth rate down so Biden can open the borders to throw up population growth.
Supplement, yes.
If I were a conspiracy theorist.
But you're not.
But I'm not.
Yeah.
Today. But Hunter does the same thing. Why should anybody pay their loan off when the son of the president doesn't even pay his taxes?
Yeah.
I mean, he's conspiring with his son to blow off a congressional subpoena. They don't care about these people. They do whatever they want.
And, you know, Greg, in the end, it's about a moral core. I mean, somebody else should pay your bill that you contracted to pay.
And the person that pays is going to be the taxpayer who actually pays his bills. That's what always got me about this, why it was so immoral and and just wrong, is that you could have done this differently if you wanted to. Focus on practical majors, whether it's STEM or pre-med, science, nursing, engineering. But also, let's say Joe Biden had come up with a plan that actually split the burden. All right, let's say you pay $250 a month on your college loan, right? The recipient for a while pays $100, government pays $50, the bank pays $50, the school pays $50. How easy is share the relief? But that didn't happen. And why? Because Joe didn't even bother to think about it, right? It didn't occur to them because they see the American public, the U.S. taxpayer, as this vast money pit that you can just scoop it out like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet without a cover. And it really is no better than a smash and grabber. That's how they look at you. That should drive you insane.
Okay.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.